What's up, everyone? Today we're going to talk about the Smith&Wesson M&P 2.0. I got it in the FTE version. We're going to talk about it, see if I think it's worth it or not. I mean, everyone's opinion's going to be different, so we're going to just go over this thing and see what you get in the box. So we're going to put this down and then we're going to go within the box. So it says M&P on the front. You open it up, you get your little congratulations thing, your little warning, instruction manual, barrel safety. It comes with 2 back straps. This one is a medium large and then a large. And it says that on the inside. You do get some optics plates and some screws. These are all plastic, I believe. Yeah, all of them are plastic. There's also another back strap which says small. And then you get the lock that everybody uses. That's all in this little box right here. Okay. On the outside, you do get plastic optic plates, which is nice, I guess. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. So, starting from tip to butt, we're going to go from the tip. So you do get suppressor height sights. This is a 3-dot white sight, iron sights. They're not bad. They do function and do what they need to do. I didn't have to adjust them or anything out of the box. They were 0 where they needed to be. As you move down the slide, you got these little serrations right here built in. They're grippy, but not too grippy. You can press check pretty easy, but you can slip still. Like my thumb is slipping right there. So you have to make sure you grab it firmly in order to do the press check. Okay, as I get down to the barrel, that's nice and flush. There is a hole right there so you can see if you have a round in the chamber. There is no striker on the back to see that, or your striker right here. It does pop out a little bit, but you get that visual confirmation. Okay, as you get to the side, you can see the takedown. It breaks down like a fig. So push it down. I'm not gonna take it off because of YouTube, but that's how you do it. As you get down to here on the grip, it does fit a TLR 1. It's right there. And this little angle right here is a little odd for me on the grip or trigger guard. So whenever I'm gripping it, I usually build my grip like this and punch out. So it's at a weird angle, so there's a little bit of an adjustment, but it holds nice. Okay, as you make your way back, your slide release, slide stop. The left side is pretty easy to manipulate, see? But the right side on mine is, you have to press it really hard. But other than that, I didn't have no issues with it. I'm not using the right side anyway. I'm not left-handed. As you go back, you got some more serrations right here. You got an optics cut. And then this is a Gideon optic on here. Like I said, it is plastic plates. And now that we're at the plate, whenever I was at the range, it did hold 0, even though some of these screws came loose. So I'm probably going to change out these Smith&Wesson screws for something else. I'll probably order some, because they did come loose with this plate too. So I don't know if it's the plate or the screws. We'll find out. But serrations right here on the slide again. Your suppressor height sight rear. As you can see, I've blacked out my rear sights. To me, the 3 dots is just distracting. So like everybody else, colored them in and it works fine. We got a little manual safety here. It's optional. It's very tactile, not loose, doesn't wiggle or anything like that. It does give it a 1911 feel. Now as you get down here at the grip, it's very grippy. This one's the polymer frame, so it's got lighter weight right here on the grip, but I think it's well balanced. And then when we get to the shooting footage, you'll see that in the video that it's well balanced. But this grip is really nice. You don't have to worry about it slipping. It was very hot when I took it out to the range. My heads did not slip, it stayed in there. With blocks, usually I have to adjust my grip constantly. Like I get a little bit sweaty. When I do the reload, I'll drop it, have to go back up and re-squeeze really hard to get that grip. This one, not an issue. You just go up, grab it, do your reload, and it's already there. All right, as we get to the mag wheel right here, it's enough. If you're not practicing your reloads, you're gonna definitely hit this little hook right here that holds your grip in. So this is what holds your grip in right here. And you can change out the back strap. But yeah, if you, for example, just hold it right here. If you come in like this, see, you're not gonna get in there. If you go at an angle, it's not going in there. So you have to come in like perfect angle to get that in there. So I probably will be ordering a mag wheel. Maybe, we'll see. If that's just like a training thing or if it's gonna be an issue later. But they come with two 17-round magazines. I wish they came with 3. It's a lot easier whenever you come with 3 instead of having to order more, but they are metal magazines and they function well. Drop them at the range. You can see a little dirt on there. I'm dropping them and they held up and did what they're supposed to do. So this one's a little chewed up. But yeah. Now we'll get to the range footage and talk about that trigger. As you can see watching the footage, it's easy to control the firearm and keep the gun on target, even with shooting at multiple targets in rapid succession. The reloads weren't as hard as I thought, as long as you look at the mag well as you're inserting the mag, which you should every single time. That reload wasn't that bad at all on that second one. Here's the accuracy portion. I didn't do my red dot until after, but you can see that the grouping is not bad at all. That is a zone size target, and I'm shooting about like 25 yards away. And that grouping isn't bad at all. And like I said, that's a zone with a Smith&Wesson M&P and a Gideon optic. Here we'll look at the muzzle flip. As you can see, if you're gripping and doing your fundamentals properly and having a smooth press, the gun tracks right where you want it to go. I stayed on target the whole time, and that was rapid fire. I got a little reload in here. My hand barely moves. And as my support hand gets back on the gun, it goes right where it needs to go. So I do like that about that grip. That's very nice. Doesn't move. Smith&Wesson did very good with the grip texture, in my opinion, on this gun. And here I'm taking about 100-yard shots, and we'll see how many I land. I think it's very nice. Will I buy another one? Probably not. But I also haven't shot the metal frames or anything like that, so I wouldn't know anything about those. The trigger control with this new trigger that Smith&Wesson's been putting in is very good. The hinge trigger sucks. I hate hinge triggers, but this one's very nice. We'll go over the brake real quick. So here's the wall. Brake. It's a very smooth brake. I'll just take the mag out real quick. So as you can see right there, wall, brake. You don't got no like slack or anything like that. Once you hit the wall again. There's a little bit of tick up on that one, and then brake. And then we'll go with the reset. Right there. A little bit of travel. Reset. A little bit of travel and then brake. That trigger's pretty nice. So if I had a trigger gauge, I would show you the poundage, but the drips go like a 4.5 to 5.5 pound trigger pull. Yeah, probably around there. Other than that, it's pretty accurate. And like I said, probably wouldn't buy another one, but got it to try it. My opinion, was worth the money. At the same time, I'm not gonna spend that again. But thanks for watching. If you like the content, like and subscribe, share. That way I can get boosted into the algorithm.